What's up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to the movie review. And today we are going to be reviewing Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Going into this, I don't have my computer and everything set up at the moment, so I can't read the synopsis and the Rotten Tomatoes scores and everything like I normally do. So sorry about that. But going into this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Going into this one, I had very low expectations. Because everything I've heard is that this movie's bad, it's not good, it's pretty garbage, it's just not a good movie to begin with. It's just, everything I've heard about it is that this movie is bad and it's not good. I've never heard really anything positive about it. I've only heard negative things about it. And with that, my expectations were really low, especially since I liked the original trilogy of films, but going into this one, I had very, very low expectations. Coming out of it, I was surprisingly shocked. Don't get me wrong, I think this is the weakest of the four films. Obviously, I haven't seen Dial of Destiny yet, but of the four films, I think this one is the weakest. There are multiple, but I want to get to the positive things first with the movie first. Go ahead and get those out the way. First things first, I think Indy is doing a pretty good job. He's kind of older and everything here, but he's still, you can pull off these stunts and everything and pull off, he doesn't feel like he's too old. Also, you got that classic Indy snark that you get in these movies, which is always a good thing to have with these movies, is his classic snark. That's always something that it's good to make sure you have, is to have that classic Indiana Jones snark. Like, you got to have that. It's like, there's nothing, you can't not have the classic Indy snark. You got to have that. This one we actually get introduced back to another character. I forgot her name, but I believe she is the love interest from the first movie. She is back and now has Indy has a kid played by Shia LaBeouf. And it's an interesting dynamic they throw in there, throwing him have a son in there. A lot of it works for the most part. They don't like dwell on it too much, I think is an alright thing. Another thing is, like, that's a bit of a thing, is like there's not much chemistry with the love interest again this time, but that's also just kind of a thing in the whole franchise. There's not really a lot of chemistry. Except for maybe in the second one, they kind of really worked with it there. But here is like, it's just there. But that you kind of accept in these movies. The action is fairly okay. I'm not the big fan of the big CG and effects and everything. I'm not a big fan of all of that, because like this series definitely works better from a practical standpoint with the obviously what they wanted to, like, hey, we got this CG and everything, we can make these better. I'm not certain if they are better doing it this way, because these movies are a little all over the place when it comes to the CG and everything. There is some funny writing. There is sometimes the writing where you're like, okay, the characters are kind of dumb, and like they change on their thoughts on a dime, and it's like Indian is like, he kind of has, I don't know, he has to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but it's kind of hard to with some of the decisions and some of the storytelling points in this. And the villain in this is very forgettable. I'd say the adventure is fine. I'd say the Crystal Skull is a cool little artifact, and it tying into aliens and things like that are interesting. I'm not too sure how much I even like about the alien aspect. And then you have obviously one of the biggest controversial things in the movie, the scene with the nuclear bomb, and he's in the fridge and all that. That's never bothered me, really. Regardless if it's realistic or not, that doesn't really bother me. But honestly, I think this movie was overall just a fine film. I don't think it's as good as the other three. I don't think it's as bad as everyone has made it out to be, though. It's definitely a weaker film in the franchise. I really think that they really could have done a lot better with this The alien stuff is interesting, but it doesn't really feel like they do much to it. The final act and everything. But overall, I think the movie is fine. I think the movie accomplishes what it goes out to do and does a pretty decent job at doing it. I think the movie overall is just all over the place at points with its writing and everything. And like I said, the worst part is some of the CG and stuff like that. This is not a franchise that really this all the practical stunts and everything and effects, and elaborate set pieces and things like that. This one's just interesting, I guess, to the way they handle the characters and the writing and everything. And Mutt, which is Shia LaBeouf's character in Indiana Jones' son, I feel like what they could have done with this friend, and they kind of teased it a little bit, like him picking up the mantle and everything, but they don't. Obviously, with this new one, they really don't. You can tell they don't go that route because I don't even think Mutt is in the new one. I haven't seen it yet. Do not quote me on that. But overall, I think this movie overall just seems a little blech, I'd say. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing really, but I can say it is a weaker film in the franchise. I don't really think if anyone says this is their favorite of the franchise, I would be a little skeptical. I'd be like, this is your favorite? Really? But I think for the most part, there is some fun to be had here. There's some nice special effects. There's just some character writing that's not the best, and there's some quirks that are there that are your typical Indiana Jones quirks, but for some reason, sometimes here they feel a little bit more iffy. I don't know if it's because of the writers or what, but some things just felt a little off here. Personally, I'd have to go, and I don't hate this movie or anything. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's relatively good either. I think it's just okay. So I'm gonna go straight down the middle and give it a 2.5. I don't want to be too much to it. I don't really know. I'm kind of neutral on this one. Be a 2.5 out of 5. Be straight down the middle. I think is a solid place to put the rating for this film. It's just it's somewhere because there hasn't been another movie in years, and it gets me a little worried about, okay, so what's the new one gonna hold? What's the new movie gonna do for us? Because this might be what's okay. It's interesting to see where this franchise is going with Dial of Destiny, and I'm very concerned, but also excited to see where the movie, because I already don't have high hopes for that movie, and this movie definitely didn't help with that. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope this movie is extremely good. I hope that the movie is just overall a fun time. I hope the character writing is good. I just hope everything in this movie is done well. I hope the characters. Why am I doing my predictions? But overall, this movie, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, is just okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I do not think it is a terrible film at all. But I think that there is some stuff in this movie that could have been done better. I think there was a little more time in the writer's room, a little more time with some of the ideas, and maybe a little less CG and more practical. It could have been a much better film. But overall, that's all I got to say for this review. What do you guys think of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Let me know down in the comment section below, because I'm very curious. But that's really all I've got to say for this review, guys. If you guys did enjoy this review, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below of this video, and I think I will see you guys in the next video. Don't know what that next video will be, or when, or whenever this will even be going up. I don't even know, to be honest. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.